These are the top 5 things to do to get big for men to look aesthetic. If you do these, I promise you will be the biggest man in the friend group. Alright, the first thing first, you actually need to go to the gym to get big, alright? This might sound like a crazy thing, but yes, you actually need to get your ass in the gym, even a couple minutes a day, to get big. For some people, it's hard to get into the routine of going to the gym consistently, but even going to the gym like 5 or 15 minutes a day will get you in the routine and will get you to actually start working out. The next thing you need to do is to be consistent. So you need to go to the gym at least 5 to 6 times a week. If you do this consistently enough for a long enough period of time, you will see results and you will see your muscles grow. The next thing is progressive overload. So you actually need to be lifting heavier on a regular basis. So you can't just be sticking to the 15-pound dumbbells for the rest of your life and expect to grow your muscles. Your muscles grow with growing intensity. So you need to be doing more reps or heavier weights when you're actually working out. A good thing to do when you're starting is actually to go with a friend or a trainer to start, as when you do this, it's easier to get into routine and they can show you kind of the basics of the gym, how to use the equipment, what routine to do, so you can kind of just start and get more comfortable. As I've noticed, a lot of people that don't go to the gym is they're scared, all right? So they're scared of going to the gym. They don't know what's happening. They don't know how to do things, so they're kind of nervous and they're kind of self-conscious about other people picking on them. But don't worry, honestly, the gym is the nicest place you'll ever see. The bigger the person, honestly, the nicer they are most of the time. Like I went up to the biggest guy in the gym. We start talking, and he's actually the friendliest, nicest guy I've talked to. Don't be scared of going to the gym. The gym is a very friendly place. Everyone is just there to improve themselves, and honestly, most of the time, no one's really looking at you. They're too enthralled with looking at their own muscles and their own chest, you know. Next thing I would recommend is to have a workout plan and actually stick to it and not deviate too much from it. So, for example, I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times in a row and then take 1 day off. This will keep you in the routine and keep you focused and knowing which exercises to do each time, so you don't get as nervous when you go in. Bro, just don't be a pussy, right? Like, lift heavy weights. I know some girls are too worried about like getting too big. Well, listen, if you get too big, that's honestly the biggest accomplishment you can make, because you will not get too big. It's actually harder than you think to gain muscles. But if you do listen to this video, you will gain muscles pretty fast, and in 3 months you'll be unrecognizable. All right, so another huge component, probably even like 70% of like the actual like process of getting big and lean and looking good, is nutrition. So you need a balanced diet: fat, carbs, and protein. These are the 3 main macros you need to watch out for when you're eating. So fat is a fuel source and optimizes hormonal environment. So I'd recommend around 30% of your diet being fat. This doesn't have to be exactly 30%, but you should roughly aim for this, as fat does boost your testosterone and helps with keeping your hormones in check. So around 50 to 100 grams of fat a day is recommended to be optimal through studies that I've read. The next is protein. So protein is the essential nutrient for growing muscles, to repair and gain muscles. This is the main macro that's involved in actually getting your muscles bigger. So I would eat around 1 gram of protein per body weight, or 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. This is essential for gaining muscle, so do not overlook this, alright? And make sure you're eating whole protein. So you want to be eating actual good proteins that have a lot of good amino acids in it to actually gain muscles, like chicken breast, steak, pork, fish. These are all like very whole foods that will actually gain muscles, because you don't want to be eating a bunch of hot dogs. Like, hot dogs are not gonna give you the results that you want. All right. So next is carbs. There's a lot of misunderstanding about carbs. A lot of people think, oh, I need to cut carbs to lose weight. Oh, I need to eat a lot of carbs to gain muscles. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will take away all the myths that you've been told, alright? So the main reason people eat carbs is to supply energy for your workouts and your body and your everyday needs, right? So we're not endurance athletes here, man. We're not freaking Usain Bolt, or I don't even know, like some marathon runner. Carbs doesn't actually support muscle growth directly. What it does is they grow your muscles through giving you the energy for your pump. So when you're working out, the carbs is what actually gives you the main energy source to actually get through your workout and lift weights heavy. So if you don't have enough carbs, you're not gonna have enough energy, and thus you're not gonna be able to lift as many heavy weights for as long. So that's why carbs are essential sources of energy for your workouts, but they're not the main part. So I would recommend around 40% of carbs. The next is recovery. So don't be pumping the same muscle every day in the gym, please. I know if you guys want to work out your chest, you want to get big, you want to get big chest, you should chest 7 times a week, and then all of a sudden you're like, Dalino, why is my chest not growing? Well, listen, you're overtraining, alright? So this is very important to have a good split and have a workout routine, so you're working every muscle in a good sequence, so So you're not hitting every muscle every time you work. So for example, you'd be hitting chest, shoulders, and triceps on Monday, and then you'd be hitting back and your rear delts and your biceps on Tuesday. Wednesday you'd be hitting legs and you rest, and then you repeat that so your muscles have adequate time to recover. Other good ways to recover faster are massages. They're very good. They get on the soft spots and it gets you recovering faster. Sauna is also really good. You know when you get a fever, you get like very hot. Well, that's actually your body getting warmer to kill all the bacteria and viruses that are in it. So sauna does this kind of artificially, so you get your body temperature up and it actually kills all the toxins within your body naturally. So saunas are very good. I would recommend that if you can, if you have access to one. Ice baths. There's a lot of myths about ice baths. If I am trying to optimize for muscle growth, I would not be doing an ice bath after my workout. I'd wait around like at least like 3 to 4 hours, as the studies say, because it's actually been proven that if you go in cold water or ice baths after your workout, it'll actually hinder muscle growth. But this is very good for athletes. You'd be like, Dale, but LeBron goes in the ice bath after an NBA game. Why is that? Well, it's very different for endurance athletes and sport athletes. They go in the ice bath to recover the muscles so they can perform sooner. But we're also not endurance athletes. Like, we're hitting chest and then we're not hitting it for another 2-3 days. So we don't need ice baths to recover as fast. Our natural cycle will recover it in time, and we'll actually gain more muscles by avoiding cold water. So sleep is the next big thing, all right? You need to get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Optimally, 8 hours. This is very important for recovery, your hormone balances, your testosterone, all of that. So make sure you're getting enough rest, all right? And getting good, deep sleep. So you should optimize your bed, put blackout curtains on your window, have like a weighted sheet. Just have like a nice area that you just sleep in, and you can actually get 8 hours every night. So foam rolling is also a technique I use to recover, mostly my legs, as they do get extra sore after like this. So I do foam roll to get recovered. So the next big thing is supplements. The main supplement I take is vitamin D3, as this is the main supplement that people are lacking, especially in winter or in places that don't get a lot of sun, just like London. It's always like raining there. Vitamin D3 I recommend for everyone. A big caution about vitamins is you should only really like supplement the vitamins you're deficient in, that you're not getting through your natural diet. So if I'm getting enough vitamin D3, like if you're outside for like 10 to 15 minutes a day, you will get the natural amount you really need, depending on your skin tone, obviously. They're obviously better to get through Whole Foods when possible, so I would for sure try to eat all my vitamins through Whole Foods. So yeah, just get your blood work done at like the doctor, and then see which vitamins you're deficient in, and then you can supplement or even change your nutrition a little bit. So creatine is a big supplement that I take, and it's been a staple part of my routine for the last like year or so. So this is the most widely tested supplement on the market. It's also the safest, as it increases muscle growth and power. So it makes you push harder during workouts and increases your ATP storage, which is the name for the energy that actually like is in your muscle that gives you more explosive power. So it increases around like 15 to 20% your power output, roughly, depending person to person. Some people react better to it, and some people like doesn't have too many effects. So I would try creatine. Just one caution: you need to drink more water than usual when you're on creatine. I mean, it increases how much water is like held within your muscles. So I would take around like 4 liters of water a day at least. You should be doing this anyways, but on creatine is even more important, as you can get dehydrated faster. The next thing I want to talk about for supplements is roids. I would not recommend taking roids at all unless you're a 40. It's very tempting, all right, because roids do make you bigger. Or if you have unnaturally low tests, like under 300, I would look into it. But before I'd even think about taking unnatural tests and shooting out my arm, I would optimize the rest of your routine before you go on roids. So make sure your sleep's on check, your nutrition's on check, you're not drinking and partying and smoking weed every day, so because that would also hinder your testosterone. Just simple stuff like that. Just make sure you have a good routine. So the next biggest thing is discipline. All right, you actually need to go to the gym to get big. I know this is surprising for a lot of you guys. Oh, Dalinho, I need to work out to get big. I can't just eat broccoli and freaking pork and and rice to get huge. No, you lose some weight doing that. When you're in a calorie deficit, you'll never actually gain muscles unless you're lifting weights or doing a physical activity. All right, so I would say it roughly takes around like 3 months ish to see noticeable results when you start, till like the girls are like, wow, Danino's got the big biceps. So I would take progress pics for when you're first starting, and then so every month you can kind of see like your progress and see you're actually getting bigger. There's also diminishing returns, so when you're working out, I would not get discouraged after like the first three to like a year. You're gonna be gaining muscles way faster than you will after that, because the bigger you get, the harder it is to get muscles. When you're first starting, you'll gain muscles very easily, and then after that it'll slow down. If you guys want a more in-depth video on how newbie gains and diminishing returns work on muscles, let me know in the comments below. Eating is also a big thing. You need to make sure you're eating consistently. either in a calorie surplus if you're trying to gain weight, or in a calorie deficit if you're trying to get leaner. So that just means you're eating less calories than you're burning in a day, or eating more calories than you're burning in a day. So you can do this a lot by tracking your macros on different apps in the App Store. I would Google it and you can find a bunch of good ones. Routine is also very important. So the workout routine you actually have, they're roughly all the same, so I would just pick the one I can stick to the best. Research has also showed it's optimal to switch your routine every 8 weeks-ish, so I would not stick to just one routine. I would either start with full body or push-pull legs. These are the most common for beginners. If you guys want a more in-depth video on workout routines, let me know in the comments below as well. The bro split, I would not recommend too much for the beginners, as you're not getting as much frequency of the muscles. So all the other ones, like you're hitting at least like 2 to 3 times every body part a week. But bro split, you're going to be hitting once, so that's more for advanced lifters that know exactly what they're doing and how to optimize their routine. So either stick to upper, lower, full body, or push-pull legs when you're starting is my professional recommendation. Alright boys, so now the next step is to go get big, alright? Thank me later, man. You can rewatch this, share it to your friends, but the biggest thing is you actually need to get in the gym and do the work. So none of the things I said even matter if you don't actually go in the gym and work out. So first thing first, work out, and then you can come back and look at all the other parts, but just make sure you actually get in the gym at least 4 times a week, optimally 5 to 6. Leave a comment if you have any specific question, or you want me to talk more in depth about any subject that I talked about in the video. Peace, boys.